They say the left hand, it drop mountains. They say the right hand, be slaying dragons.
All right, Pop. So one of the biggest topics in boxing right now, it's a polarizing topic, is Subriel Matias in his recent positive test. You know, he tested positive for Ostarine. But he was vindicated because they said it was a contamination in his system.
Yeah.
New York State Athletic Commission threshold is 0.01. I think he was like 0.0085. He was below it. A lot of people are saying that he cheated and he did it intentionally. The B sample came back damn near the same as the A sample.
Right.
But people aren't trying to hear that. People are saying that if it's in your system, you should be banned. What is your take on the whole Subriel Matias drug testing saga and the Dalton Smith fight getting clear to go forward?
I'll tell you like this. You know, in boxing, a lot of boxers that we see, just like in other sports, every athlete wants to get the edge on whatever they want to do. Nothing wrong with that. His supposedly was, somebody said was over the board, over the limit, blah, 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 blah. The WBC, Solomon came out and said no. We tested him, he came out underneath, right? So to me, as long as he didn't break the rule or take the amount that would disqualify him from being a fighter, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't. Because there's a lot of boxers in the sport, even though I can't call it out, that probably does more than he does, but they don't ever get caught. You know what I mean? And I think for Matias has never been questioned before about him cheating before in any other fights or any other in his career. It just came up just now. So for me, I'm fine with it. They corrected it. They went on. It was very little substance, so I'm not going to get mad about it.
Okay. Well, a lot of people are saying, well, this sets a bad precedent for boxing because, you know, it was in his system, right? Regardless, it wasn't in his system. It is on the banned substance list.
Right.
And he's getting off because of a gray area. So,
well, the point is, if whatever the gray area is, if it's, let's say, 2 grams or 3 grams or whatever in the blood system, and he doesn't, and he got that, then okay, he cheated. But just because you have a little bit of something or whatever, I can drink beer and not be an alcoholic and drink as much as I want and be okay with it. But am I considered alcoholic because I have a couple of beers and I'm still, my norm and everything's still here? No. I want to say the same thing with him. He went and did what he had to do, got retested again, did what he was supposed to do, did the protocol, and he came out the way he's supposed to be. He came out clean the way he's supposed to. So just that little bit, to me, I think a lot of times we put too much into the emphasis of just that one fighter doing it when we know in boxing a lot of motherfuckers do it.
Correct.
You know, so...
You know, we won't say no names.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just in general, just like that. So to me, it's okay. Because I never heard anything before him being questioned about any kind of drug testing or anything. So why? So I will give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. It doesn't give me any joy to talk about people that I respect in boxing media, like Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi. They were very vocal on ProBox about the fact that Subriel Matias is a cheater, and to quote Chris Algieri, he said, and I quote, "Fuck this guy," right? They feel like that he's very much in the wrong and that he is a cheater. There's been many cases in boxing, Pops, of guys testing positive at higher levels than Matias.
Right.
That actually really broke the rules to the highest degree and just broke the rules, period. Why do you feel like, not just with them, but boxing in general, why do you feel like Subriel Matias is being vilified to this degree? Because yes, he did test positive, but I feel like the outrage for him has been a little bit higher than I've seen with other fighters.
I tell you what, a lot of it comes to you might not think it this way, but this is how I'm thinking about it. This motherfucker is a monster, right? He comes in and fight, put your lights out, rest in peace, the guy that he put out, went to heaven. So a lot of people hate him for that fact, and a lot of people don't want to fight him because of how aggressive he is and what he can do in the ring.
You're gonna lose a piece of yourself in that ring if you fight him.
You got all this media saying all this shit about him, but what they fail to realize, you're throwing all the dark shit on him, but what about the opponents that don't want to fight him? Don't just hate on him. You're hating on him because you know what he can do and what he can run into. With respect to Algieri, because I like him a lot. He fought at 140, 147.
World champion.
Yeah, world champion, kickboxing, whatever. But for him to sit there and just call out shit without the facts or without having any proof putting in the pudding, then it doesn't make any sense for him to go there. Yes, you can be upset at the fact that he was, tested for a little bit, whatever, but you can't sit there full blown just hate the motherfucker when no motherfucker want to fight him.
Correct.
So I don't know what their personal inner feelings is with those people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're wrong or right. I'm just telling you my own opinion.
It hasn't been just one person that's been avoiding. Like we've documented it here on True School. Richardson Hitchens been.
Oh man.
He don't even want to say the damn name.
Yeah.
Even Keyshawn Davis today, he mentioned it when they were going back and forth.
Yeah.
He don't want to fight Matias. Teofimo Lopez. They were trying to do that fight. Last year.
Yeah.
He didn't want to fight Matias. A lot of these guys, they throw a stone, they hide their hand. They say Subriel Matias is basic. Liam Parle beat him, but they didn't get in the ring with him like Liam Parle did.
No, you gotta respect Liam Parle. Forget it. This guy's a killer, and that's why you gotta respect.
Liam Parle still went to the hospital even though he won that fight.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at is everybody can talk what they want, and what's crazy is about it is a lot of people don't know much about Matias except that he's Puerto Rican. He's from the country, from the city, and he's popular, and that's all they really know about him. They don't know nothing else about him. But what they should know is that no motherfucker wants to step in the ring with this motherfucker.
Very few guys.
I wanted him to fight. Who's a big fight that I wanted to see him that never happened? I can't think of
a lot of them. Pitbull Cruz, T.O.
A lot of them. And they all shut away from him. So what he's got to do, he's got to come up here to America, learn English, do broken English, and try to confront when he confronted Hitchens, and it's right to his face and everything. And Hitchens just talking. Come on, man, shut the fucking mouth. Let's get the fight done. That's all it's all about. Shut your mouth and get the action done. People don't know much about him, so I think there's a lot of questions about him, even though he's as good as he is.
The only guy that I will say that ran down on him, the only guy I've ever seen run down on him, is Gary Anton Russell.
Yeah.
That's the only guy I really see run down on Matias, and that'd be a crazy fight.
Oh my God. So that'll be another fight there. So that's what I'm saying. The verdict is out there. People can say what they want. They can say, okay, well, if he wins his next fight, that was because of whatever the shit is for 2% or 1% or 4.00, whatever. But you know what? I will put my money on Matias on anybody, because when he goes in there, he usually gives you a good fight, an aggressive fight. The only fight that was real bad for him was one in Puerto Rico, where he didn't do real good.
Parle.
Yeah, Parle come in and shut him out. But you know what? He's gonna come back and clean out, and nobody wants a part of him. Just like they don't want a part of that Russian guy we always talk about.
Fakran.
Yeah, nobody wants to. The poor guy gotta go somewhere, go through a free.
Go to the UK to fight Josh Kelly at the B
somewhere,
side.
because nobody wants to fight him. This guy's a killer. So come on.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of people are probably gonna go in the comment section and say, "Pops, if he wasn't Puerto Rican or Hispanic, you would be saying if you would to people blunt, they're gonna say." Some people may say if he was black, you'd be vilifying him, or if he was, European, you would be vilifying him. But because he's Puerto Rican, you're letting him off the hook.
No, I'm fair all across the board. We all bleed red. I don't give a fuck if you're Chinese, if you're fucking, African or whatever fuck, or Puerto Rican, Venezuelan. Doesn't matter. Bottom line is, this guy was accused of saying that he had more than enough over substance in his system. When it comes out, he didn't even have that much. And then you had everybody jumping the gun on him. Why? Because nobody knows shit about him. Nobody knows nothing about Matias.
What I'll say too is, and I say this a lot, the promoters have the guys they pick from the amateurs that they want to be superstars, and then there's guys that aren't supposed to make it this far. People forget.
And he's one of them.
He's one of them. Matias was a guy early in his career. He wasn't supposed to beat. Like, if you go look at the odds, he was the underdog when he fought Malik Hawkins. Malik Hawkins was a top prospect, 18-0, long, rangy puncher from DC. Matias beat the shit out of him. Batir Jukumbayev, dangerous southpaw from Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Matias stopped him 7 or 8 rounds. He was the underdog in that fight. And the funny thing is, in the case of Jukumbayev, he ain't lost since that damn fight. He's like eight. No. He's like on an 8 or 9 fight win streak. He's ranked. Yep. No one calls Jukumbayev out. Matias has had to fight the guys
that nobody else.
That a lot of guys don't want to fight or have to fight.
Yeah, and then he got to go chase the guys.
Then the guys with the big names, while he's got a belt, you got to go run down on them and chase them.
You got to chase them when they're the ones talking all this junk, but they don't want to knock on his door. So he's got to go chase them down. So. I mean, the verdict's out there. I think Matias is a great. I like his style. I like how he comes in there, very aggressive, inside game, put the pressure on. I can't ask no more better than him. And I expect him, the sky to be the limit. But then again, we get back to the same thing. No, if nobody wants to fight you, what are you supposed to do?
Fight whoever does want to fight you. Whoever does agree. So.
And you have to respect those fighters, because even if they're less of class or levels, but they're willing to stand up with you.
Correct. Dalton Smith, who he's fighting now, Liam Paro, Alberto Puello, Shojahan Ergashev, all these guys. And a lot, like I said, a lot of these guys are fighters who don't have big names but are dangerous, and he's forced to fight them because he doesn't have the luxury of Teofimo or Hitchens, where the promoters are just bankrolling him all this money. Nah, he got to fight whoever they say to him for him to fight. Otherwise, he ain't gonna make a living in this sport. So,
and that's what it's all about. It's about survival of the fittest. But people can talk and say what they want. Because I was surprised too. I was like, damn. And then I was yelling at. In my personal opinion, when I first seen it, I was mad at Suleiman. I was like, the WBC corruption, whatever, blah 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 blah. But then after the facts came out, blah 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 blah, I understand it. The fight's on. Let's go.
Let's go. And look.
Let's go. And if all these other fighters sit there and talk shit about him, get in the fucking ring then.
That's what I'm saying. Quiet as kept pops. A lot of these fighters are hoping that Dalton Smith go in there and beat the shit out of Matias and knock him out. Because look, when Liam Paro beat Matias, for a guy that people say isn't that good, they don't care about him. I saw so many people rejoicing, like, oh, he lost, he's out of the way now. But they spoke too soon. Yeah, but and then he became champion again. Now they got to do with him again.
That's because people don't consider him the boogeyman of the division. For me, when I didn't see Teo fight him, when I didn't see who else I wanted him to
Hitchens.
fight. Yeah, when I see all these guys fight, they had a chance to fight him. They don't fight him. Don't make excuses. Just get in the ring and do what you got to do. This guy right here is gonna come after you one way or another. So I feel bad for anybody that gets in the ring with him. Dalton Smith, God bless him. But I'm telling you right now. Fucking buena noche.
But
good night. That's it. Dalton's not gonna beat a fucking
Matias. Good, he's a good fighter. Boxer, puncher,
respect, and I give him respect. You know why?
He's stepping up to the
He's
plate.
stepping in the ring. That's why I give respect.
Real British warrior.
A lot of fighters are getting the talk, and they turn down big fights. I don't respect that because you're all opportunity will do to fight that to make yourself that better boxer you can be with your legacy or whatever, and you don't willing not to do it. So when I see any kind of box, I don't care if you got 2 broken legs and 1 arm, but you're in there and I give you respect.
That's it. All right, Pops, thank you. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing videos just like this one, make sure y'all click and subscribe right over here.